guys, welcome to my Ocean One channel. Let's get the YouTube disclaimers out of the way because we have breaking news. We'll just get that over with and jump right into it. None of my statements or content constitute professional advice. Viewers that follow any advice, instructions, or suggestions do so at their own risk because, you know, that's the way that it has to be because you are responsible for your own actions. All right, let's jump right into it. So, what do we know today? Well, the big news is that Nissan has said no. And, you know, basically what does this mean for Fisker? There's probably more questions than answers at this point. Let's just read what the 8K says. The 8K says this: after the market closed on March the 22nd, 2024, Fisker received notice from the large automaker, we have to assume that was Nissan, with which the company had been in negotiations for a potential transaction that the automaker terminated negotiations. Following such termination, the company continues to evaluate strategic alternatives. Such alternatives may include in or out of court restructurings, capital market transactions, subject to market conditions, of course, repurchases, redemptions, exchanges, or other refinancing of its existing debt, the potential issuance of equity, the potential sale of assets and or business, and okay, it goes on a little bit. And basically, that's pretty much just all lawyer language there. So what else do we have? We have, as a result of the termination of discussions with the automaker, the company will not be able to meet a closing condition to the financing commitment and the term sheet the company entered with an investor on March the 18th, 2024. As a result of the inability to meet such closing condition, the company intends to engage in discussions with the investor regarding a waiver of such closing conditions. Okay, and then it goes on a little bit more. So that's pretty much the 8K in a nutshell. But then we had another form, so let's check it out. So we also had a 14A, which actually I had trouble finding this morning, but there was no email on it. That's why I had trouble finding it. But I eventually found it. And it says, to approve for the purposes of the rules of the New York Stock Exchange, the potential issuance of more than 19.99% of the outstanding shares of Class A common stock. It's got 4 numbers here. No, it's got 3. Okay, it's got 3 numbers. Number 2, to adopt an amendment of the company's Second Amendment and restated Certificate of Incorporation as amended in the charter to increase the total of Class A shares from 2 billion to 4 billion. Yeah. All right, number 3, to adopt an amendment with our charter to, at the discretion of our board of directors, after a reverse stock split, with respect to our issued outstanding Class A and Class B shares, and I'm skipping a little lawyer language in there, and together with the Class A common stock. Okay, what are the ranges for the reverse split? It says 1 for 10 to 1 for 50. So that is the range. So, however many shares you have, divide them by 10 or divide them by 50, and that's what you're left with after this. So what are my final thoughts on this? Well, for whatever reason, Nissan has said no. No matter how you look at this from an investor's point of view, that can't be considered good news. And, as I'm making this video right now, the stock is currently halted. What happens after it opens up? Does it even open up today? I know on E-Trade it said halted due to potential news or pending news, or it was something along those lines. I think what Fisker is going to do here, this is just my best guess, making a quick look at everything. Fisker has seen that Nissan is saying no, so that loses that, cash infusion that most of us were looking for or expecting. And they're probably almost certainly going to go down the reverse stock split to regain compliance on the New York Stock Exchange. So, that's a tough pill to swallow for investors. There's just no getting around that. I've done several videos over the Fisker Ocean, and I actually did a 6,000 mile review that's on my channel now. The Ocean is just so good. It would be a shame, to see Fisker go out of business and totally go out of business. Now, I don't think we're there yet, but you know, it's no matter how you slice this, this is simply not a good event. But you know, maybe Fisker goes into Chapter 11 and they restructure. You know, they do a reverse stock split. There's no guarantees there. There's no knowing how that's going to play out at this time. But my best guess right now is we end up in Chapter 11. We do some restructuring, and Fisker goes on. That's my best guess right now. But you know, that means nothing. That would have to happen, and we'll see how that plays out. All right, I wanted to jump on here because I had probably had more messages, you know, than it was just easier to do a video. So, you know, here you go, and here's my thoughts. And, you know, I am an investor in Fisker. I have decided that, you know, unless I see Chapter 7, you know, written on the wall, I'm gonna stick it out and just see how it goes. I love the product, and I just want to see Fisker survive. So, anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time.